All right. Good evening. Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. Please, I would like just one person to confirm my audio. Just one person to confirm my audio. But okay, so I believe you guys can still hear me. Okay, and I hope the audio is clear enough for you guys to hear me. Please to confirm very well. All right. So I want to apologize for joining little bit late. Having some connection issue. I supposed to have stepped in by 7:20, and I also want to appreciate our wonderful presenter who has given you guys all the necessary information regarding to this platform and what we are in for tonight. All right, and I believe that the introduction will have been done. Very sure of that. We have all introduced ourselves. Okay, so just like she have already mentioned, I am Equero Prosper, an IT consultant and CEO here at Tetsi Hub. And tonight, by the special grace of God, I'm going to be your instructor, or let me say facilitator, in fact, throughout the entire package, the 12 classes, I will anchor them. All right, so I want to welcome every one of you, and I'm most excited for having you guys here tonight to understand how the computer works. Okay, so this is the one, and like we have already notified us there, it's a free session, so you can still send that link with you to your friends, to your loved one, because I am very, very sure that they will thank God that they join and they will be glad about it. Please, if you have anyone that you feel that he or she should be here, please kindly notify them. And the admin members that are here, please help us to notify them in the group that we are officially starting now. Okay, so my focus in this particular section is what we call computer appreciation. Computer appreciation. And I want to believe that most of us, if not all of us that are here, will agree with me that they have no prior computer solid knowledge. So with that acknowledgement, I will now use a formula that is recommended when you are breaking someone into the world of technology for the very first time. That is why the title of this particular training is Computer Fundamentals. This is the fourth version we are holding. That is why we have the 4.0. And I'm very sure this will be one of the best among the version we have heard so far. All right. So now let's dive in. Let's start with she have already talked about us, so there is no need. I believe that she have done justice to that. So what I'm going to do with the remaining 1 hour plus that I have is just to introduce us to the world of technology known as computer. So I'm skipping all this because she have already done justice to all this. Let me just get to my slide. All right, so my assignment tonight, very simple. So tonight, we are going to discuss the following outline topics. and I understand that we are beginners. So for that reason, please, if you notice that I'm a bit uh, fast than you expected, there is a reaction button there for those of us that are familiar with attending live Zoom classes. So there's a way you notify me. Then once I say it, or once you unmute and start talking, then I will know that you need my attention. But if any of this does not occur, assume that everything is going well with you. While you are not also hearing my audio, let me also get that notification. All right, so I am going to walk us through these 4 topics. The first topic is going to be what is computer itself, that we have all gathered to learn right now. Then we are going to dive into understanding the history. And it is very, very essential as beginner to understand where this whole journey started from, so that you will know the current stage we are, right? So that will also give us an idea of how this industry has been tremendously advancing within speed of light. Okay, so we are going to look at the history of computer. We will also talk about the characteristics of computer. We are going to look at some of the known attributes, some of the behavior that actually makes almost every company today wants to apply it in their daily or day-to-day activities. So we're going to look at those characteristics. And then, of course, we end the session with types and the uses. Of course, the advantages. We are also going to talk about few of its disadvantages as we proceed. But please, don't forget that the information regarding to the next class will be announced. But I can tell you the next session is going to be on Tuesday. And on Tuesday, we are going to, by Tuesday, I will have drafted out a timetable that will have fixed days and time that we shall be meeting for the 12 classes. So this training is going to go across 12 classes. So this one is number 1. So we still have 11 more classes to go. So let's dive in. Let's start with what is a computer. Let's start with what is computer. Let's look at what computer is all about. So how do we define computer? There are actually many definitions of computer out there, depending on what it does for you, right? So somebody who is in the medical sector sees computer differently from somebody who is in the engineering sector. Somebody who is in the bank also see computer differently based on what the computer does for them. But irrespective of all these different fields, we are going to look at the standard definition of computer, and I'm going to break it down for us. Remember, our objective, our target, our audience target for this training are individuals who are breaking into the world of technology for the very first time. All right, so perhaps you are here and you feel this look too basic. I would advise you to look forward the next section, but just make sure that you still follow us. Now, very simple definition. A computer is an electronic device. A computer is an electronic device, right? That accepts data as input, processes it according to a set of instructions, which is also known programs, store it electronically or digitally, and produce the end result as the meaningful information, otherwise known as the output. I hope somebody is following. Please, can I get just one person to unmute and talk back to me if you are following? Can I get that response quickly? Please, I need one person to unmute and talk back to me if you are following. I want to know.
We can hear you.
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Okay, and you
We
are
can hear you.
and you are following, right?
Can
Yes, I just want to find out if you are following.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, so that's a simple definition of what computer. Now, I want us to look at some of the keywords here. Some of the keywords here. The first keyword we are going to analyze is electronic. We want to find out why is electronic used in that definition. There are a couple of keywords here that until you understand why they are used, you may not really understand what this technology is all about. The word electronic is used just to tell you and I that it is not a manual machine. It tells you and I that computer is an object or a machine that receives a source of power from electricity. So that after this class, you plan to buy one, you know that you have to make arrangement for powering it. You need to sort out probably generator, or you need to depend on maybe your power holding company. That is the meaning of what? Electronic. Now, let's also look at the meaning of device. The word device means an object that assists. All right? It means, in this context, it means an object that assists. So what is trying to tell us that what? Computer is an object that accepts data. Now, let's look at the data. The word data means raw information or raw content. Any form of information that requires processing, that require going through the cycle of what? Manipulation. Such information before its usage or before it can be used for the purpose at which it was intended for is referred to as data. So that is why if you look at some material, data will be defined as what? Raw data or raw information or unprocessed information. A practical example of it is when you write a letter, when you are looking for a job, when you are looking for an employment, they will ask you to submit a letter. That letter will be first of all drafted on your paper, and then you take it to all this business center or yourself, and then start what? Processing it, start sending it into the system through an application interface like Microsoft Word before you can organize it, fine-tune it, and then before you now ask the printer to bring it out, before you cannot take it for the intended purpose. So that is what we are saying. So we need to understand that in this world of technology, all informations are not the same. There are some that cannot be trusted. There are some that cannot be relied on until you have processed them. And that is why we have the computer as one of the best data processing electronic device. All right. So let's also look at the meaning of the input. So the word input tells you and I that computer can receive those data as an input, which means that what we feed into the system, whatever that goes into the system is called input. And the devices that are used to send those information or data into the system, they are referred to as input devices. For example, we have the keyboard, we have the mouse, we have the scanner. All of these, they are input devices. In other words, these are part of the computer or the peripheral part of the computer that assist users to send this information that need to be worked on into the world, the system. I hope we are following. So I'm going to be calling name for response to avoid conflict of sound. So I would like if John Dodo, if you can hear me, please kindly speak out. Let me find out from you. John Dodo, please.
Hello, sir. Please, can you come again? The
Can you hear
network was
me?
not stable,
Yes.
so I hardly hear you.
Oh, oh. And that is why I wanted to find out if you guys are actually hearing. I was asking if you are following. Needed to also confirm my audio again. I hope we are following. Okay, but I think should be following. But please, like I said, you can use that reaction button if you don't want to speak out. There is a button that will show me something like this, and then once I see it, and that will inform me that we are all on the same page. I don't want to leave anybody behind. And after some time, I'm going to pause for us to ask questions. Like I've already posted in the group, there will be sessions where I will just come. Good, thank you very much. So there will be session where I will just come live for just for us to interact, to ask questions outside the training session. So just pay attention to the various groups you are in case you get that notification. All right. So now we have explained what input is all about. So as computer users, we should understand this terminology. All right? Because when you go for an interview, don't be surprised that they throw these terms on you, these words on you. And if you are not able to decode them, if you are not able to respond as if you know them, then it creates what? That flaw. And that is why not just training us the skill, I'm also trying as much as possible to break down the terms. All right. So now the word input means sending in raw data or any form of information that require processing into the system. That is the meaning of input. Why the devices, the channel in which you are sending those information, like your keyboard, like your mouse, like your scanner, they are the input word devices where they are connected to in your system, the USB ports. They are called the input word units. They are called the input units. All right? Good. Now let's look at the word processes. But what it means is that there is one of the most important components called the processor. There cannot be processing or process without the engagement of the processor. Are we together? Learn that some persons are having issue joining.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So for those that are having issue joining, please somebody should help me to tell them to keep trying. Probably it's network from their end. But however, the video recorded version made available via the paid group, right? But we'll try and make it available also in this particular one. But subsequent one will not be in that, will it be in the group of those that have paid. Okay, so like I was saying, you cannot have the word processing without understanding what is in charge of it. So the word that takes me to explaining what is called the processor. The processor is a micro element and very powerful that is part of what you have inside the system unit. And the work of this is that is the one that encode and decode every instruction that is given to the system. When I use the word encode is just a computer terminology that means words, that means saving. All right. While the word decode means what? To see, to open. All right. So if I say I encode you, that is what I send you something and then you read it. So the word decoding also means what? Reading. So in the practical terms, we can say encoding means what? To write, while decoding means what? To read. And that is why when you want to buy DSTV, what you buy is not encoder. What you buy is usually called decoder, which means you are not the one sending. You are only buying that object that helps you to receive whatever the most appreciated in the world, the satellite. All right. So we need to understand that in every computer, being it desktop, being it laptop, being it even your phone, right? There is a processor. All right. So for us to see all this information on the screen is because there is a processor that is processing them. All right. So we should understand that once the computer receives those data which need processing, the processor takes over and manipulates them to become what? Something that one can use for the intended purpose. All right. So now we need to understand, and I went further to say, processing it according to a set of instructions. Now, this is why you are here tonight. If somebody asks you now, why do you join this class? You actually join this class because you want to learn computer instruction, computer command, computer application, which are made up of what? This instruction that can be used to control the computer to do something for you. So when you lack these skills, it means that you will not be able to what? Use that powerful computer to bring us something powerful. So the level of what you are able to get from the computer depend on the quality of skills in you. I hope we are following. Let me get a response also, please. All right. So now we understand what is called. Okay. So now we understand what is called instruction, which means that the word instruction is the same thing as the word program. And it is also the same thing as command. These three words can be used interchangeably. It's either you say instruction, or you say command, or you say programs. They are the same thing. But the only thing is that when you say program becomes collection of those instructions. Now let's go further. Let's look at the store, the word store here. What the word store means is that a computer is not just a device that can process those, that can receive those inputs and process them. It can also give them to you in different form. Computer can give it to, can store it within a digital world storage or cloud. And that is why we have our HDD and our what? And our SSD, right? Which is the HDD drive or hard disk drive and solid state drive. These are internal or primary storage. That is where all your programs are stored. All the application, office application, and the rest of them. They are all installed directly in your local world disk. So that tells you and I that computer have what? Storage capability. In fact, it can even store more than our brain can store. So the only difference between us and the computer is that the computer memory cannot think, but our own can think. That is why we do say that every computer user should understand that garbage in, garbage out. Garbage in, garbage out. That is what? Whatever you give is what you get. If you tell the computer that you are foolish, computer will not correct it that, no, I'm not foolish. But if you tell a fellow human being that you are foolish, that person will reply you because be able to what? To process it and say, no, I am not foolish. When it comes to storage, computer can store more than you. All right? So, and produce the meaningful information as output. So we need to understand that is the breakdown that I have, given us here. There's a breakdown that I've given us here. And what is the breakdown? So this is a kind of the mathematical formula or a diagram that defines the cycle, how this entire stuff works. So there is a unit where things are given, which is the input, and then hand it over to what? To the processor, another unit called the system unit, where you have the auxiliary storage, where you have the logical units, which is also called the ALU, that makes your computer to perform mathematical operation. And then, of course, you have the storage and then give it to you. So this diagram I put here, it kind of explains the process. I hope that is clear. So I'm going to pause for 2 minutes for questions before I move to the next topic. If you have questions, you can unmute yourself now and ask.
Sir.
Okay, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you very well. I can hear you.
This is it. Sir, please, you spoke about processor. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm hearing you.
Okay, you talked about, you said the processor is an element. So I didn't get that part. I don't know if you can express what you said about processor.
Okay, please, sorry, come again. I was looking at I don't know, the link that is being posted. I'm not sure if, okay, I think it's the correct. Okay, sorry, come again. Sorry, I was paying attention to, let's see.
Okay, what you were explaining the inputs, the electronics to all of that. You talked about processing.
Okay.
So for processing, you now diverted to, before we can talk about processing, about processor. So you said processor is an element. So I didn't get the rest part. I don't know if you can refresh it. Yeah, I'm able to like hear the processor very well.
Okay, so what I actually said is that I was trying to break down how we arrive at the word processing in the definition of computer. I was saying that there is a component or an element in your system unit which acts as the brain of the computer. That is, that processes whatever that the computer is doing. And that is called the processor. I think that is where I made mention of processor. I was trying to explain why the word process is used in the definition. I hope that is clear. That a processor is an element that encodes and decodes all the instructions within the computer system. I hope I've clarified that so that we can move to the next topic. Is that clear, sir? Let's respond very fast, please. I want us to make it interactive. It's very important. This is equivalent to physical class. All right, so you are seeing me, I'm seeing you. All you need to do is to ask questions when there is room for questions like this.
All right. So in the absence of question, I will assume we can now what? Move on. All right. So now let's quickly dive into the history of computer. Let's dive into the history of computer. Let's look at the history of computer. Like I specify in my training outline as part of topics that we are focusing on tonight, being the D1. Okay, so now why is it important for us to understand the history of computer? Why is it important for us to understand the history of computer? I think I'm not sure if history was supposed to be coming. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Okay, yeah, history is the next topic. Okay. Now, why is it important for beginners like us to know the history of computer? So this will help us to know the various developments that has occurred since this whole stuff started. Though I'm not taking the history like the way it's been taught in your educational classes, like your secondary school. So we can go as far back to looking at the Stone Age, to the abacus. I don't want to go all that because this is IT training focused class. All right. So I just have to highlight the evolutions of computer. All right. So I want to look at different stages and the different technologies that were in place. And then you will now be able to what, relate it to where we are. And that will now inform you how well this device has been what performing, whether you are to learn it or not. All right. So the first, we are looking at different generations that have had what this computer and different what technology they use. Our today computer uses different technology to store. Like today we have flash drive, we have SD card, we have the rest of them. But in the course of walking us through this history, you now get to know the different technology they were using and some of the limitations that they had. Some of us in this particular dispensation, we are enjoying. Some of them really suffered a lot. Some of them suffered a lot. So it was not as seamless as it is today to us. It was a bit challenging to a lot of them compared to what you and I have today. All right. So the first time computer was probably grouped into this history is 1940 to 1956. 1940 to 1956. Because I know that there are some of us here that are probably studying computer science or they have intention of going for computer science. Your first semester, all this that I'm explaining, you will find them there. So now, between this age, between this time, they use what we call the major component was vacuum tube. Like I said, I'm just summarizing. These are things you can actually read up on your own. But I just want to summarize them so that we understand them properly. So example of the kind of computer that were in this particular era were ENIAC, UNIVAC C, and then their characteristics. These are old versions. Imagine first generation, and they were very big. They were very big. So let's look at some of their characteristics. Let's look at some of their characteristics. I think I have a message. Let me look at the message. Okay, I think this was a previous message. So the characteristics of this set of computer, number one is what? They were very large. They were very large. One of it can occupy the entire room that you are. Compare it to what? To where we are today. We have small laptop, we have, a medium laptop, we have large laptop. Comparing all of this, they are not as big as this particular word generation. They are not. So another characteristic of this is that they are very expensive. Those days, one individual cannot even afford to buy one computer. Where you see computer will be probably what? In all these big companies. Big company. That is where you eventually what? See computers. Not owned by individuals. Generate much heat. This set of computer, they generate a lot of heat. They generate a lot of heat. Look at the ones we have today, except those of us that are using AMD. If you are using Intel processor, you can even put it on your lap and then you will not even feel any heat. That is to tell you, and like I told us, there's a reason why I'm taking us to the history where it all started from, so that you will have knowledge of the development that has happened. So you can see now, you just picture this set of computer that I'm talking about and picture your laptop. So you can see that what there have been several word development and computer word advancement. And that is one thing about technology. It advances so very fast, such that if you are not following the trend, you can be brushed aside within a second. Consume high electricity. I remember 2003 when I started learning computer. I passed my neighbor cannot power what? One desktop Delos and what? The CPU. I passed my neighbor, cannot power it. But today, I don't know those that are joining from Ghana, I don't know whether they understand what I mean by what I passed my neighbor, but it's our common term in Nigeria. But today, that's I passed my neighbor.
No, sir.
So that I passed my neighbor, I'm talking about that small generator that does not consume fuel, that small generator, I think the smallest generator that is handheld, you can hold it like this. But today, that type of generator can actually carry what? A lot of what? Even laptops. So let's move further. Let's look at another word, generation. Let's look at the second generation. And I want us to pay attention to the years differences between if you can sit down and do the arithmetic, between 1940 to 1956, you look at the years different. As we are going, you see that the gap will be closing. So which means that at some point, computer started advancing so very fast. And that is what some of us are facing today. We learned something last 2 years. We have not even bothered to learn something again. And before you sleep and wake up, people are ahead of you. Now look at this technology. This particular year, from vacuum tube to transistors. Now look at the advantages. Smaller, faster, more reliable, low power consumption. So all this development actually prompted people developing interest, because they begin to see that, wow, it's getting better, it's not getting worse. I hope you are following. Can I get a response from one person, please? Please, can I hear from anybody? Please, I want to know if you are following.
Yes, sir. We are following.
Okay. All right. So let's look at the next one. Let's look at the next one. Which is the third generation. Which is the third generation. So the third generation computer uses what we call integrated circuits, which is known as what? The IC, where many transistors were placed on a single chip. What I mean by chip? If you open the motherboard, for those of us that are privileged to see the motherboard, if you open the system unit, there is an object called motherboard that have so many components on it. And there are chips. All these chips, they are like electrical how do I put it? They are like electrical transmission channel. They allow information to flow from one. Somebody should help me to remind them in the group that the class is still ongoing. And then if you can repaste that Zoom link, please help me to what? To paste it so that they can join. All right, so we are still talking about what? The third generation. We are talking about the third generation. So I was trying to bring out some of the things that makes it different from the second generation. So I wanted to pick one of the key differences between this. Okay, so I was trying to, sorry about that. I was trying to pick some of the differences between the second generation and the third generation, which I'm discussing right now. So let me just quickly go back to the second generation. The second generation computer replaced vacuum tube. Remember that the first generation, they used the vacuum tube. But the second generation replaces the vacuum tube with transistors, which we now have in the third generation, making computers smaller, faster, and more reliable. So that is what I pointed out as what the characteristics. So if you have to differentiate this one from the other one, you say those ones are what? They are larger, they are bigger, they consume what? A lot of what? Current, or they generate what? Also well, a lot of heat. But the more it's getting smaller, the more some of those things are what? Being what? Eliminated. So let's look at the fourth generation of what? Computer. The fourth generation computer uses microprocessor. So you can see when I talk about processor, the first one, their processor was like the vacuum tube. The second one, it moved into transistor. Now, that is the third one. Now, in the fourth generation, that is where the word microcomputer, microprocessor, started coming out. So this uses microprocessors, which place the CPU, the central processing unit, on a single silicon chip. So the whole of the material that is used to make that motherboard, for those that have seen it, is made up of what? Sand. And that sand is a treated sand that is called what? Silicon. And that is why if the motherboard, if the system is on, if you touch the motherboard, it will shock you. Because it's made up of what? Sand. And that sand is called what? Silicon. So let's look at some of the attributes. So this is where we have the processor technology. So this is from this era we started having desktop computer, started having laptops. So laptops started from the 4th generation of computer, which means that our forefathers that were in the 1st generation, the 2nd generation, the 3rd generation did not even know what is called what? Laptop. So we should give credit to this set of individuals that have what? Tremendously what? Develop it to the extent that what? We can use processor what? Computer or laptops. Smartphones. Let's look at some of their features. Very high in speed. They have very high speed. That's why they are very fast. They are multitasking. One computer can do a lot of things at the same time. I hope somebody must have helped me to notify them in the group that the class is still very much on. They are affordable, unlike the other one that one individual cannot even afford one. They are very what? Compatible. And then they are internet enabled. So we're actually enjoying. Today you see studying is very simple now. People can score grade A just because they can access resources on the internet. And that is one part that we are going to train you in this particular package. Why will you know computer and you cannot use it to research? You cannot use it to help yourself. As a pastor, you should know how to use computer to research. As an engineer, you should know how to use computer. Everybody should know how to use technology. But today we are now in the world artificial intelligence, where there are so many assistants left and right. So you cannot be left behind. And that is the reason why we have to organize this basic. We offer advanced training, like she have already told you from the beginning. But from the current advanced student I'm training, I discover a lot of challenges that they are facing. And that's why I have to organize this training. Some of them just jumped. They did not attend computer primary school, and they are studying cybersecurity. They are studying data analytics. They are studying programming, and they don't even know primary one aspect of computer. And at the end of the day, they spend their money, and they are not able to compete with those of you that have finished the basic before advancing. And then they say that, well, this thing is not lucrative. It's a serious mistake some people are making. Why will you go and study cybersecurity when you don't even know all these basic things? You don't know how to use Microsoft Office Word, and you are in cybersecurity class. That is a wrong way of learning. So I actually want to congratulate those of you that actually understand opportunity. So I don't think throughout this year, it's only this session that we're going to hold on this. So let's look at the 5th generation. And the 5th generation is also called the present and the beyond. For now, we don't have 6th. All right? So let's look at things that have been introduced. You can see those of us who are using ChatGPT. So you can see that these are 5th generation computer learners. Some of us started from, I remember when I learned computer, there was nothing called window. It was DOS. It was DOS environment, command line. You have to write command. Some of us do not even know what that era is. Let's look at some of the technology they use. Artificial intelligence. So that when you leave this class now, you now know where AI was introduced between the generations. Robotics, all these are technologies that were introduced in the 5th generation. Machine learning, today now those that want to learn data analytics, want to learn how to build internet algorithm. Today now you enter Facebook, you watch a particular video. The next day you enter your Facebook, you keep seeing that type of video because there is now internet AI algorithm that monitor people behavior. So once you watch a particular type of video, then the internet will assume that this is what you like. And the next day you log in, you see that type of content. And it is on that angle that they are also able to advertise. So when somebody plays an ad under digital marketing, that this ad should target people that love what? Football. But because the internet algorithm has what? Segmented everybody interest, the ad goes to those people. And that is how you got to know about this training, some of you. We ran an ad and we told that ad that target people who want basic knowledge, not advanced people. And the ad was probably some of you have been searching, you have been following people, you have been searching about anything to do with technology, and that is why the ad came to you. So you can see how powerful computer is being used. Quantum computing, natural language processing. Example of that is ChatGPT, self-driving cars, AI assistant. Today we are talking about automation. Very soon we are going to come up with a session where you learn AI automation. Today now people create what? They set up their email that what? The email responds by itself, even when you are sleeping. Everything is power of what? Computer. So still talking about, so now that settles what? Everything about what? The history of computer. So I will now pause for a few minutes and allow you to ask questions. Once I'm done with this question and answer section, then I will be diving into, I think should be characteristics of computer, like I map out from my course outline. So the line is open now. You can ask questions regarding to the history. And if everything is clear, don't let us waste our time. Let's move on. Because I want to make sure that the next class is going to be on Tuesday. We are going to focus on the Windows operating system. That is going to be practical. The whole of this class is actually theory because this is where we learn about the computer. That's why it's called computer appreciation. And this is the very first background knowledge that you must have. So question, please. Questions, if you have. Question quickly.
Good evening, Mr. Person, once again.
Good evening.
I don't know if you can hear me, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. So you and sir, for everything you said about the first generation, which is back into second generation transistor, third generation integrated circuit. So, sir, I'm thinking because I'm a teacher, so I teach in secondary school. I teach in secondary school. So what I taught my children was that the fourth generation, I thought it was supposed to be large, large integrated cycle. And the fifth generation is supposed to like system only for them. So that system now comes under the desktop computer, laptop, smartphone. So, but when you say the fourth generation is microprocessor, I'm kind of confused. So I don't know if
Okay.
changed,
So yes,
if they are still using all these days.
Sorry. Okay. Have you landed so that I can answer you? Have you landed?
Okay, all right, sir.
Okay.
So no, sir. So
Okay.
I said I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe the textbook that I'm using in my school is olden days textbook that they are still using fourth generation as large integrated cycle, while the fifth generation is like system. Yes, present one now. But when you said desktop and when you said microprocessors for fourth generation and fifth generation, you highlighted some technology under fifth generation, artificial intelligence, robotics, machines. So I'm kind of confused. I don't know if you can
Okay.
expatiate more on that.
Okay. I understand you. Thank you very much for drawing my attention to that. You see,
we have different researchers. Are you with me? We have different researchers. And if you will agree with me that most of the textbook, I don't know of other countries, but I have people that are joining from Ghana and the rest. For example, the knowledge available to me today, if I'm to write a textbook, that is what is going to define. That by the time the whole thing have changed due to research, people are discovering, and they are trying to regroup. And that is what you are saying now. But if you look at it critically, it's just like somebody is trying to, reduce the how do I put it? Reduce the series, right? Okay, let me put it this way. I've also taught in secondary school, and I know most of the materials there, they are not updated, they are not reversed. And most of them, not because they are outdated, but because they are looking at the standard of the student they are teaching. If you are teaching someone that is in primary 1 computer, the way I am going to define it, trying to break it down to that person's level, will be a little bit different from if I'm teaching a university student. In university, they expect that a lot of things will have been done from the basic education. So the lecturer will not bother. So they will not group it in a way. A practical example is that somebody will tell you that system unit is the same thing as CPU. I don't know if you can hear me. What will be your answer to that? Mr. IBK, I think you are the one I'm responding to. Just
Yes, sir.
go.
Same thing, sir. They are extremely CPU and processor. They are kind of the same thing.
Are they the same? I'm asking, are they the same? System units and CPU, are they the same?
Yes, they are same thing. Just like system unit is like a case, like a body case of CPU.
So now, what the point I'm bringing here now is that you will see that
Oh,
the point I'm bringing here now is that when you are teaching primary 1 students, that will never be opportune to see the inside of the system, that case that you mentioned. You will tell them that the whole of that system unit is processor. So that because they are not going to be privileged to stay inside based on their level. But when you are teaching an adult or somebody who is studying system engineering, that will be privileged to identify all the components inside the system unit. At that point, that your first definition can no longer go. But you can see how that person came down so that just trying to make them know that, oh, anytime they mention processor, you know where it is. That is the person's view. All right. So we are not actually far from each other. Your textbook might capture some of these things in a different word generation because it can be that they are emerging features. For example, today we are still using laptops that are in 7th generation, 8th gen, 9th gen. But that does not mean that everybody has upgraded to the latest. So which means that even in the current generation, people are still using what we have in the previous generation. So when somebody is grouping, because some persons are still using it in this generation, might want to group the one in the previous generation just because they are still being in use. I think that's the best way I can answer it. So we are not actually far from each other. I hope that is clear, Mr. IBK, so that we can move on. Are we together? So you can research again. Are you with me? Okay. Okay. So, okay, good. Now you can research again and see that the updates will have be what I'm teaching you. All right. So now let's move on. I want to make sure that we achieve our objective. All right. So the class is a bit this fast because it's not a practical session. All right. When we get to practical session, we are going. In fact, I'll be asking you to share your screen for those that are joining with laptop. It's going to be very interactive. So when I do something, I will give you time to do it and so on like that. Particularly when we get to all those office, when I'm done, I'll be pausing at some point for you to do it and then share your screen, check what you have done, and then approve it before we move on. For this session, this is the nature of it. It is called computer appreciation. So it's more of story, and these stories are very important. All right, so let's dive into characteristics of computer. Now, when you say characteristics, you're talking about the behavior. And my brother and sister, if computer character are not good, every company today will not want to implement it. If computer characters are not good, everybody will not be craving to want to learn it. As a matter of fact, I can tell you, in the next 10 years, it's happening right now. If you travel out of some of these developing countries to developed countries, if you don't have test skills, it's as good as you are unskilled person. I have trained a lot of persons that have traveled out, and I'm still training them. And if you check very well, just try and start processing your visa. You're going to travel to Canada. You can't travel there without presenting a tangible test skill. And that is one of the things that is making tech now very worse, because in developed world, everything has been computerized. So it looks as if this part of the world is not yet developed, or we are still in the process. But a time will come, you can see that in our nation now, like Nigeria now, our government just implemented the next YA could be written with computer. So what is going to happen? Some parents have not wake up to start plugging their children into this kind of training. They are waiting when it is 2 days to this exam. A child will not go into the hall. A child that does not know what is computer, does not know the characteristics, does not even know the path, will be scared, even jam. So, like I said, you can actually research on this stuff yourself. So because if I go by breaking them, defining each of them, these characteristics that are grammatically represented, we are going to spend, what, 2 sessions. But it's actually only a session that I've dedicated for this introduction, because these are aspects you can actually read and understand after I have laid this foundation. So looking at them, So looking at the characteristics of computers, I think, let me just give me a minute. Just a minute. Okay, so looking at these characteristics, computer works in an automatic way. They have that attribute. They can work automatically once they are programmed. And that is why you see programmer also was striving, because everything that pertains to tech today is rooted in programming. Some of us that are good in graphic design, the apps you use, they were programmed. So programming is the backbone. And they are the ones sometimes that are more professional. Because when you learn programming, your creativity level expands. Your problem-solving standard increases. So another characteristic of computers was speed. You can't compare it with the manual. It's very fast. If you are using a very high computer, you say that you can just click once as you are clicking. If you are experiencing any slowness, it could be because you are using a lower version, or there is a virus, or your memory is not high. But if you are using modern computer, before you even click, very fast, as speed as, if not more than what, speed of light. Accuracy, they are very accurate. Most of the error that we have in computing, they are human error, when human beings did not program the right thing. And you see persons that do not have the concrete knowledge functioning in the field. and they are ending up generating a lot of error that makes the computer look as if it is not accurate. Diligence is very diligent in doing whatever he does. Versatility is very vast. Computer is very vast. You can see it now in hospital. Computer is applied there. In fact, these days now, doctors are just enjoying. Once you get there and they ask you 1 or 2 questions, they run a scan using computer device with the application. And that app will tell them exactly what is wrong with you. And that will now help them to administer the right drugs. So you can see all you need now is to understand the domain expertise. And that is one of the things that is helping us to know so many programs at the same time. Because I understand, I have been in the field. I think this is my 21 years of training and services. Now, I understand in and out. So I can pick any AI tool and ask the right question and get the right result. But somebody like you that is just coming in, does not understand, will not know what, that is why all you need now, try and be grounded in one area or the other. Then you can now flow with the AI. The AI has not come to create unemployment. The AI has not come to take the job from the experts. Instead, the AI has come to take the job from those that are not computer literate. Because those of us that have been in the field all this while, we are just enjoying it. It's now that we are enjoying it because we have reduced so many manual activities. Power of remembering. All these are characteristics of computer. So just to highlight few of them. In what? Computer perform millions or billions of operations every second. Every second. What somebody is searching, the content somebody is pulling from a website, another person is pulling it. That's multitasking. And none of them is experiencing downtime. Accuracy produces correct results when given correct data, like I've said before. Storage, one of its attributes is storage. It stores huge amounts of information. When I said computer can even store more than your brain can store. How many things can you remember? Some of us, only our birthday that we can remember 24 hours. Automation works automatically once instructed. That is one aspect that is running right now. We have Python programming classes that are going on. And then once because you have to understand the AI are those that we even learn data analytics, we also teach them Python, cybersecurity, all these are AI-based courses, but you need to graduate from here. Reliability can work continuously without getting tired. In fact, the more they work, the more they are excited. You should understand all this. Versatility, perform different tasks at the same time. Example of some of these things, we have typing of document, browsing the internet, graphic design, programming, banking, gaming. All these are direct application of what people use computer to do. So now let's quickly, any question on the characteristics? These are things you can actually read on yourself. Any question on the characteristics? There's no question we dive into the type of computer. We need to also understand as part of what we need to know as beginners. Do we have any question? Please, I want question if you have any, please. Okay, so if you don't have question, I would like to hear from 3 persons. Just unmute and tell me how you are enjoying or not enjoying the class, please. Just say 1 or 2 words, what you have learned so far,
you are learning or you are not learning. Do I have to call you by name? Okay, let me start with John Dodo. John Dodo, please. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Sir. It made me to understand that we have first, second, third, fourth, fifth generations of computers, and then based on whether the first, like it is like upgrade, advance from first. You have advance. It will be in advance. The second will be advanced, and the third will build up. Fourth will build up. Then in that order. And at the moment, you've made me to understand that computer can perform so many functions, billions and millions of functions within a short time or within a seconds. So whatever instruction that you give to the computer, that's what you receive back. That's as we said, garbage in, garbage out.
Good.
So that's the letter I can share at the moment.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. I guess you are from Ghana. I can feel that you're very good English. I like Ghana English. Right.
Thank
you. Okay, so can I also hear from one more person, please, because of time? Let me hear from one more person. We are gradually rounding up. Once I'm done with the types, I think I'll be able to complete what we plan to achieve in this section. While I'm waiting for the next person to respond, please, in case you want to reach out to us, I believe all those information will have been given to you guys. And you are all in our various groups. And then for those that have not subscribed for the master class, remember, this is the only free session. The next sessions are going to be paid session. And like we told you, so it's going to be 15,000. But I just want to, I think I will just give it to you guys. For those of you that are here that have not paid, that will probably want to pay tomorrow or next to join the Tuesday section. Just those of you that are here, maybe after the class, you can private chat me that I attended the class so that I will allow you to pay that 10,000, right? Because ordinarily after this session, if you have not paid, you are supposed to pay 15,000. You're given access to the remaining 11 classes. And I can tell you, don't miss any of those sessions. Even if you miss any session, make sure that you sit with the video and watch the video and apply all the practicals that will be taken there. Because the next class, we are going to focus on understanding the system operating system. We are going to focus on understanding the operating system of the computer. You see, we are trying to follow the order. A lot of persons are getting it wrong. You shouldn't even go and start learning Windows when you have not been in a computer appreciation class. Because all these functions like relay rates, if you miss A and you jump to B, you will struggle there. Not that you don't know it, but you will struggle there. You can never be compared like those that attended all of them. All right, so please go your way to invite your friends. If you are able to recommend anybody to this group, and you are able to put to us that this person came through you, we'll give you what a kind of we'll give you a kind of commission on it. Right. Okay, so I assume that all is going well. There is no questions. So let's dive into understanding some of the types of computer. It's also very important that we understand that there are different types of computer. And these types are usually grouped based on purpose. We need to understand that based on purpose, based on size. So there are different criteria that are used to group them into different types. So let me quickly walk us through them, some of them. Based on size and processing power, we have the first category, which is called supercomputer, processing power and the size. These ones are the fastest computers used for scientific research, weather forecasting, space exploration. An example of that, we have the Frontier, we have the Fugaku. So all these are what based on this type is based on size and what processing power that we are grouping them. So we also have mainframe computer used by the banks, airline, government, agencies, handle thousands of users simultaneously. So like I said, most of these things I'm talking about in this session, they are things you can read on and understand yourself. They are very simple. Just give me a second.
All right, so let's look at the next.
So we have the mini computers to use by medium-sized organization. Remember the criteria we are using. If we are not using by size, we are using by what? Processing power. So we have the microcomputer, which are also known as the personal computer. So these are the most used type. That is where we have desktop, laptop, tablet, smartphones. All this falls under microcomputer. And then finally, we have the embedded computer built into other devices like ATM. They are part of computer. The cars, washing machine, smart TV, microwave, all these, they are part of what? Or the types of what? Computer. So any question, please? This is where we are going to draw the curtain, and then we'll just focus on question and answer section. Just a minute.
Okay, sir. Oh, sir. Are you there?
All right, so I hope we are still here. Please, question, please. Question. There's no question. We can question or any. Okay, IBK. I think.
Question, sir.
Okay, okay.
Question.
Who is talking? Please, can you make sure you're okay? Okay, let's allow him to talk. Okay, go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, sir. Good evening, sir. Thank you very much for the well presentation for this learning.
Thank you.
I really appreciate that, and it's very good. Just as you talked about, not jumping to the advanced where you have not learned the basic computer, and this is the foundation.
Yeah.
So, my question is, in this training,
Oh, I no longer hear you.
the computer
Okay,
I
go.
will use for this training, like maybe uh, well, the time we are doing the Microsoft Word, what kind of is it Windows what or also Windows something like that to use?
Okay. Once you have anything from Windows 10, Windows 8, I will advise you, depending on your system configuration, if your system can take Windows 10, I would advise that you start from Windows 10. But if your system can take Windows 11, then also use Windows 11. All right. I think almost all the current operating system can actually run Microsoft Office. Even your phone, if you have
Okay, another thing again.
okay, go ahead, go ahead.
Another thing, I have somebody that want to join, but he doesn't have laptop. So how can't he use the phone to
Exactly.
learn?
That is what I wanted to say now. We have if so long the person have an Android phone, he can go to Play Store and install Excel, Word, PowerPoint. All these programs can be installed in your phone and you can use them, right? You can use them on phone because those are the major application in this training, as in the one that will take time, practicalize Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. So the internet, the person can use his phone, of course, once he has a browser. So that one won't be a problem. So he can use it very, very well. He can use it. He can use it. He can use it. Any other
Thank
question?
you very much.
Welcome. Okay, so let's go to the next person. IBK, I think you wanted to ask a question.
Yes, sir.
Let's mention our
Sir, I want to ask that. Are we going to talk only? Okay, sir, I wanted to ask if we're going to talk about data from computer based on the functionalities. Are we going to talk only based on science?
Your network is a kind of breaking. If you can repeat what you just said, so I can get you right. I only hear functionality, but I don't know which angle you are actually talking about.
Okay, so I said that are we still going to talk about the other types of data, the other one that is based on the functionalities?
No, no, no. This is where we are ending the class because with this one, like I said, every other aspect is something you can read on. We don't want to allocate more than one class to computer appreciation because we want to focus more on the practical aspects. So the next class we are diving into Microsoft Windows. That is where we talk about the functions, but not theoretically. This is the theory that we have planned to give. And I believe with what we have learned now, if you go and deepen your research, every other thing can easily fall in place. So the focus is at the end of this training, you should know what computer is. Because if we even go by, because even while we are going to learn Microsoft Word, one way or the other, we'll talk about those functionality like a mouse, keyboard, we'll see describe them. But I don't want to start talking about those ones in this particular session so that the session will not be too long. All right, so in between, we will still be, like the next class now is about exploring the Microsoft window. And the whole of it is practical. It's practical. Any other question? John Dodo.
Please, are we going to receive the slide for this presentation?
Okay, sorry. Let me take you guys one after the other. Let me go to, I think IBK, you have not landed. You still have more thing to say so that we can allow John Dodo to ask his question.
Okay, sir. Thank you once again, sir. So, sir, please, can you be sliding this because and there's some things that too fast and I was about to jot it down just to other ones. So, back to our computer.
I think it's
that computer can be so
your voice is breaking in between. I'm not able to really get you clearly. I don't know if others are hearing you well.
okay, sir. So, I said
okay, you know what? Put it in the message. Type it as a message. Just write a message while I'm attending to Mr. John Dodo. Just put it in message. Summarize what you are trying to say. I will check it now. Okay, so John Dodo, please, let's come on you.
Okay, sir, please, I would like to know whether the presentation for this evening lectures, are you going to receive the slides on the WhatsApp page? Thank you.
Okay, so I think the slides will be on the, okay, if you request, it will be on request. So you have to write, but the record in the video will be available there for you to go through. But if you want the slides are structured in a way that you may not be able to, because you can see that I connected them. So it's not one straight slide, but you can open them individually. So if you want it, just request, I'll forward it to you. There's no issue with that. I hope I've answered you. So it will be for everybody to be on record.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay, so any other question, please? We have just 1 minute. We keep to time here. Appreciate everyone for joining. And I'm really excited that we made it here, because we know that at the end of the day, we are hoping to have individuals that will be grounded on the basic. Then when you are done with the basic, if you want to consult us for other advanced program, I believe the first presenter must have explained other program that we train professionally. Anything we train here is professional. We don't bring basic or learners here. Whatever we do here, if we advertise a program, we know it. If we don't know it, we will not. So, but my focus is that is for us to understand the basic. A lot of people are missing it. So please tell your friends, like I said, the best you can do for us. Honestly, if I'm to take people per class, sometimes I collect 10,000 for professional program per class. But putting the whole of this is more or less of free. That is as far as I'm concerned, based on, I'm looking at what you are going to learn. You know what it is to learn Microsoft Word, complete, both basic, intermediate, advanced. What it is to learn Excel, basic and intermediate. The reason why we did not put Excel advanced there, because Excel advanced is for data analytics. It's for those that want to go for data analytics that will find it interested. All right. So, but in Excel, we are going to cover basic and intermediate. At the end of this training, you should be able to use Excel very well. You should be able to, as an office person, you have a business, you should be able to use Excel to compute your sales and perform all those daily calculation and all of that. PowerPoint, we are going to teach you how you can create your slide, like this slide that I'm using for this presentation was created with PowerPoint. So is a session, and we're going to also teach you how to use email, because a lot of people that use, they cannot even mail on laptop. They cannot mail. They don't know how to manage email application. All of this, how to use websites. They don't even know how to download stuff from all of these are in this program. And that is why we spread it into 12 classes. And that's why you see that I'm a little bit fast with this first one, because this first one was not structured to go into detail, practical wise. Even the theory, we just pick what I know that you need to know. So that's why I say you can read the remaining one on your own. And in between, as we take those classes, we will still be what? One way or the other related to them. So please tell your friends. You can request for the link, my contacts. I think you all have my contact, the group you are in. Send my number to them. That is the best way you can help us. We really want more persons to be in the class. This Zoom license can take up to 100. I think I can take up to 100 per class like this. So there's still room for people. I know some of them, the time frame probably is not convenient for them. But if you have anybody that cannot join the live session, we are making arrangements to create a group where we add those people that cannot join the live session. And then when they pay, probably they will pay lesser because they are not joining the live session. And then all the video will be, all the recording will be posted there for them to follow at their own pace. So if you have such, I think I will announce it tomorrow. I will announce that. So I will discount them. I will just make it a token for them. But they will not attend the live classes because I know there are some persons that they are at work, do not allowed to join, but they prefer watching the video and learning alongside with us. So if there is no other question, do we still have any other questions so that we can draw the curtain here? Do I still have any other question?
Is there a certificate on this program?
Yes. Everybody that register, I'm going to forward his certificate. You'll be certified and you are not going to pay for that certificate again. Like I said, the money we are charging you is just commitments. I don't want to be like, begging people to come. When you put something, no matter how small in something, you will put effort to make sure that it goes through. So it is equivalent to like an opportunity. So we are not interested in making money from this here and there. And when you finish this one, you want to come into advanced program, then we can talk of, okay, you pay something better than this. But this one is like the giveaway. So please, certificate will be sent to certificate of participation that covers the areas to be exposed. So we'll send it to you. And then for those of you that will say that, okay, we should print it and waybill it, but you will not pay for the waybill. If you say we should print it, we'll print it. We'll print it, but the only thing you pay for the waybill. That is, I don't know if you are in Lagos or where you are, you tell us how you want to receive it, or we send you the e-copy, you can print it where you are, fine. I hope that is clear. Any other question? Any other question? Please feel free to ask questions so that we'll know what we are going into. Anyway, my line is still open. You can always private chat me in case you need any assistance.
Sorry, the class will be. Is it twice in a week or
Yes.
twice a week?
Good. It's going to be intensive twice in a week. The next session is going to hold on Tuesday, same time, 7 to 9 on Tuesday. But by that Tuesday, I'll tell us I think we are going to, what I'm going to do is that Tuesday, I will give us room here. I will give us 2 options that you choose. Right? Why I don't want to give room for that. I want to know those that we attend, those that will register, those that will pay, so that we can dialogue. Okay, how do we do it based on your work? What is the best time do you guys think that is good for us? Because there will be morning session from August. We are going to run morning session between 10 a.m. to like 12. There will now be this evening session, this same training. So tell your friend, anybody that could not meet up with the evening session will meet up with what the morning session. But the morning session will start August, not in July. So we'll discuss if you register and you join that class on Tuesday, all of us here will decide the best time that we feel that Because some of us, maybe that 7 is too late, we'll discuss it. Or if it's too early, we'll also discuss it. Any other question? Please, let's ask question regarding to the program. I appreciate the questions some of us are asking. They are very, very genuine questions. Any other question? Okay. Let me even find out some person. I have Techno KM4, not heard from you throughout. I have Wakusu, not heard from you so far. If they can hear me, I would have loved to just hear from them, even if it's just to say good evening. I have Sani Sally.
No, put chat. Okay. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma.
I appreciate the lesson. And that's from Wakoso.
Okay, yes, sir. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I enjoyed the lesson.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Mm.
Right. Okay, so time will not permit me because it's late already to hear from other, but I hope to see them in the main.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Okay, I'm with you.
Yes. So I have somebody that want to also participate, but is asking that if he can make a commitment of maybe 60% of that money, then later as the training progress, he will pay the rest so that he will not be able to miss it.
We don't have issue. We don't have issue with anyone at all. So long we don't have issue. I know that we will not pursue you. You will definitely pay because yourself you will know that what you are learning is valuable. So but such a person should chat me. I need to be able to so that I'll take note of it. We'll take note of it and then I should be able to have an agreement with the person. Okay, at what point? Don't have issue with that. Okay, so that I won't disturb him when I'm not supposed to. So if you say, okay, when we are done with Microsoft Word, we are going to Excel, I will just put it there. Okay, so there's no issue with that. There's no issue with that. Let the person reach out to us. Let the person make the payment and reach out to us. All right. Any other question, please? Thank you very much, sir, for that recommendation. I encourage others to do the same. And as you do, God will bless us. All right. Can we close the line now? Please permit me to close. Let me hear from one person. Permit me to close the line. Let me hear from one person. Okay. So good night. See you on Tuesday.